Dealing with chemicals can be a risky business. While they are essential in day-to-day life, many chemicals have hazards associated with them. It is therefore important to manage their risks effectively, which includes considering material control and accountability. In this video, we will discuss how chemical inventory management can enhance material control and accountability and reduce chemical risk. A chemical inventory management system helps to track a specific chemical or chemical sample throughout its life cycle at a given facility or institution. From procurement to disposal, the proper management system will ultimately lead to better quality control and opportunities for waste reduction, surplus sharing, recycling, and the reduction of unknown and orphan chemicals in the lab. These benefits reduce time and resource costs, as well as vulnerabilities that could lead to a safety or security incident. There are three important components to a chemical inventory management system. First is a method for documentation and record keeping, which includes all standard operating procedures, or SOPs, and the inventory database. SOPs contain the core documentation for policies and procedures and how the chemical inventory is tracked, audited, and managed. Databases, which can be an effective tool for tracking chemical inventory, come with different technical and security challenges. However, what matters most is that the database is suited to serve the needs of the facility or institution efficiently. Another component is management, personnel, and staff. Upper management support is critical for the longevity of any chemical inventory management system, both procedural and financial. Roles and responsibilities for individuals with access to a chemical inventory system are also important. Access to physical and information assets should be controlled by designating tiers of permissions and security measures, such as physical locks and individual accounts for computer systems. In addition, designated owners need to be assigned and accountable for the security of specific materials and ensure there are no orphan chemicals. The final component is employee training. Employees should be able to inspect inventory, maintain automated systems, and follow industry standards. Employees should also be familiar with their roles and responsibilities. So with a basic understanding of chemical inventory management systems, how might you implement one in your facility or institution? Let's think about the system in more specific terms. Documentation and database is the largest component. Documentation includes all the policies, procedures, and SOPs that include all the details about the chemical inventory management system. It is typically the longest to implement and should be continually assessed and updated to ensure best practices are always being followed. Documents that address policies or procedures for procurement, chemical transportation or transfer, access control, waste or chemical removal, and inspections or audits are all necessary. A database can be as simple as a paper-based list or computer spreadsheet. Advanced inventory systems driven by a computer network can offer the most robust features for chemical inventory management. There are many commercially available systems that continuously guide inventory management to be more efficient and secure. Regardless of the system, the underlying database can vary in size and scope, and depending on regulatory needs, a variety of reporting options may be possible. However, systems that can handle more chemical and regulatory data will be able to generate more substantial reports. For example, individual items should have metadata such as name, formula, lot number, owner, purchaser, barcode number, physical state, safety data, use and transfer history, and more. The data can then be used for physical management, such as inspections and audits, and allow for a better understanding of the safety and security needs of the whole chemical inventory. The database both guides the physical management process and can be used as a repository for additional data collected during this process, such as those associated with visual assessments. Audits are also an opportunity to check for database accuracy and should be done periodically, but often at least once a year. Finally, this system can lead to reporting for a variety of situations, such as a summary of chemical hazards that can be generated for emergency responders, detailed information pertaining to compliance with OPCW, CWC, REACH, or other international, national, and institutional regulations. After deciding on networking and database solutions, review security and access controls, bearing in mind potential threat actors. How do you screen and train your authorized personnel, and what do they need to know? Can unauthorized personnel, such as a cleaning crew or other limited employees, gain access to resources they shouldn't? Scope out these potential insider threats, along with likely outsider threats, and restrict access to the inventory system, physical assets, and other need-to-know information, such as the location of any chemicals of concern, accordingly. Be sure to label areas limited to authorized personnel clearly, and train authorized personnel to recognize and challenge unfamiliar individuals in restricted areas. Let's recap. A successful chemical inventory management system requires 3 major considerations. First, that a living database of chemicals is regularly maintained with relevant, detailed information. Next, that access to information and assets, both for insiders and outsiders, is carefully controlled. And finally, that chemicals are designated an accountable owner, and that employees are trained for maintenance, inspection, and regulatory compliance tasks. This system will ultimately reduce chemical risks and make your facility safer, more functional, and more secure.